Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Bunch of Bull Network.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast, down here at the Bunch of Bull Studios like we do every Saturday night. And tonight, I got a special guest in the building, my man Cory Eaux.
Peace, world. Your boy Cory Eaux, Cory Eaux Dumbs, rapping assurance man, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, I'm alive, man. Life is good.
Yeah.
I really can't complain, What
Yeah.
about yourself?
Oh, man, I can't complain, bro. Much like you, I'm just grateful to be here, man. Another opportunity of life, another opportunity to get it right. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Indeed.
so that's where I'm glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for extending the invitation. I'm glad we were able to get our schedules together so we can make it happen. I just appreciate you even just having a platform for us to be able to come and talk. So
100%.
Shout out to you.
No, I appreciate that, bro. And for me, I like to kick it off saying how I met the creative artist that I have on. For you, my first memories of you were like the Rep PGH days.
Yeah.
Have you on the Rep PGH days, the River Deliver days of Rep PGH. And then my first time witnessing you was at one of the Monsters of the Mics down at the Z Lounge.
Okay.
Shout out Ivory, man. Rest in peace to Ivory, man.
Ivory used to come over to my crib over Wilkinsburg with my brother. He was big on the hater magnet.
Yep.
Yeah, peace. Yeah, rest in peace to Ivory, man.
Rest in peace to Ivory, man. Ivory was anytime I bring on guests who I've met through those Monsters of the Mic or those series that Ivory put on, or anyone that had encounters with Ivory always speaks about him in a fond way because he created a platform for us. And he always curated the dopest shows. Like
and who he chose to put on the shows together. And it was kind of like a mixtape a lot of times.
It was
like the artists that he put on. Yeah, so
and you had to have skills, right? It wasn't a popularity contest.
Agreed.
If you were doing the Monsters of the Mic, that's because you was really one of those people.
One of those ones in the city, in the culture, just in the region that was really respected the culture.
Yep. And the culture respected you
of emceeing and whatnot. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And when I seen you on there, and you guys had such a follow, JSP, right? Because you were just a street poet. You guys had such a following and such a presence in the game and such a respect. It made me pay attention right away.
Appreciate you.
A lot of artists, looked up to you guys, and you guys were always in the conversation for one of the dopest groups in Pittsburgh, and this is when we had a lot of dope groups.
Yeah,
right?
I kind of like not to take anything away from what the younger guys are doing now, because I love to see what they're doing. But kind of some people refer to just that little golden era. Of Pittsburgh hip hop, where there are a lot of sites popping up, a lot of award shows, a lot of really dope groups. It was a great time to be an MC.
It's funny you say golden era, because that's what I refer to it as. I seen a Real Deal at a show that we had together. That's what he referred to it as. It seems like amongst us, even though it's not said aloud often, but our generation of people that came up at that time know it to be the golden era, and especially Wiz and Mac were on the come up and just emerging at that time. And Mac especially was on a lot of shows with us. I mean, he was doing a lot of the shows at the Z Lounge, getting booked by Ivory and Scrap, and local guys. Mac was really one of the ones that was on the grind on the scene.
Yeah, true.
So that always made it, and it felt like at that time that it was all so possible because of what they were doing, and it felt like
to be so. For those of us that there was a certain sect of people that knew Mac, or a certain sect of us that knew Cam, and see their meteoric rise and how they did it. It gave life to the scene at that time, seeing how possible it was with them doing it, whatnot.
Yeah, and like you said, award shows was popping up. Shout out to the Pumas. The Pittsburgh Underground Music Awards. That was a beautiful thing, a big scene.
The Pumas was the successor to the PHHAs, the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards.
Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards, exactly. Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards. And the first time I remember going to the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards, it was down at Weston Hotel downtown. That was my first experience with it, and it was an experience, right? Because they had like camera crews there. Everybody that was on the scene was there. We spoke about Mac. Mac was there.
I remember my fondest memory about that is asking Ricky P, yo, you ain't worried about getting a PHHA? And he looked at me in my face. We was walking up the street. He said, I'm trying to get a Grammy, man.
That's real.
I love Rick for that, man. He looked at me right in my face. He said, nah, I'm trying to get a Grammy. Yeah. And I mean,
what did you think? What did you think when he said that, like, to you at that time? Did it change your course of thing? Did you think like, damn, bro's right?
It was all inspiring just because of how big you got, how outlandish you got to think.
Yeah.
To make it.
Yeah.
And Rick's one of my best friends. I talk to Ricky every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my guy. Like outside of music. Like,
right.
Me and him, like I always say, when me and him talk, we don't talk about music.
Right.
We talk about
everything but
manhood and fatherhood and veils of existence and things like that. But that particular moment, that's what always reminds me of the PHHAs.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm trying to get a Grammy, man. And
that's real.
He got that diamond plaque for See You Again.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say. So for those who don't know, Ricky P is great, legendary Pittsburgh hip hop producer who's worked with a lot of industry artists. One of the ones that people may know the most from is Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Obviously, in a lot of the work that he's done
Sauce
with
Walker.
Yeah, Sauce Walker.
Sauce. And, Sauce Factory. Also with Sosa Man, Tory Lanez, a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah. A lot of big name, and shout out to Pittsburgh producers, right? Because they don't get enough. They don't get enough credit from the very beginning of hip hop. Period. From the very beginning of hip hop, and especially from the very beginning of Pittsburgh hip hop, there's always been prominent Pittsburgh producers in the industry,
like Black Caesar, and stuff like that.
Of course. Sam Snead, Tuffy Tough.
There was a group a lot of people may know of, but Rougher Than Most was a group Sam Snead was in with one of the people I credit to being like one of the fathers of my style. Josie Wells.
Okay.
When he was one of the members of that group, Rougher Than Most, from out the port. So shout out to Rougher Than Most, man.
Shout out to Rougher Than Most.
They was like one of them original like four-headed monsters out of the city.
Yeah.
That was like, that I think that JSP came from that same kind of vein.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. No, and I think it's important that we have these conversations about Pittsburgh hip hop history, right? Because people don't understand how rich it is. People also don't understand the influence it had on West Coast hip hop.
Yeah, we about to go into Mailman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sam Snead. Before we get to Mailman.
Sam Snead, yes.
Before we get to Mailman, of course, Sam Snead was signed to Death Row Records at the height of Death Row Records, right? One of his big songs, Think You Better Recognize, had Dr. Dre on it at the height of Dr. Dre. And a lot of people don't know Sam Snead produced Keep Their Heads Ringing. That off the Friday soundtrack, very well-known song. And we could of course talk about Mailman in the same vein, because one of my mentors in Pittsburgh hip hop, like you said, Rougher Than Most, what they was to you was my man Infinite Bino from Rough Chemistry, Homewood, you know what I mean? And Infinite, we was in the same halfway house together.
Okay.
And everybody knew I rapped, so they introduced me to Infinite, and Infinite was a part of that Mailman wave that went over there. He wrote for Dre. And I didn't realize the impact.
So was it the rated R wave?
Yes.
Yeah, with Benji and them.
Yeah,
because Benji's a monster. Yeah, man. Benji's one of my absolute Benny Blaze from the Hill.
Yep. It was all them boys. Joe Beast. Yeah,
I would just love to just be able to rhyme with him one time. I know he don't rhyme no more.
You might have to get him out of retirement,
man. I would love to, man, because he's one of the goats to me. Like one of them people to where if you're talking about best MCs ever come out of Pittsburgh, he's got to be in the conversation. In my opinion, he got to be top 10.
Yeah,
just my opinion.
He's in the conversation.
Yeah, Benny Blaze, Benji definitely. People that's able to weave in and out of beats and got a voice. And there's just a couple of things that I think had influence, because cultural influence in the city with him being on in Pittsburgh Underground, Pittsburgh Hip Hop Video Magazine.
Yeah.
And, there's just certain stuff when I look at people that are like who I would call go to the city. So he would be one of them.
No, it's good to have this conversation with you as you're sitting here and we're talking about this stuff. I know one thing about you, much like me, you're a student of hip hop, right?
Yeah, very much so.
And I consider myself to be as well. And that's one of the reasons that this platform is important to me, and one of the reasons I want to have the platform. You know, beyond hip hop, of course, Pittsburgh hip hop history is important to me, but just hip hop in general. And I know you're very much in the same vein and, you know, from the same cloth of that. So it's great to have these conversations so we can give these people their flowers who people may not know of and know the importance of them. And when we talk about Mailman, a lot of tracks that people give Dre credit for were actually done by Mailman.
Yes.
A lot of the Chronic 2001 was Mailman.
A lot of that was Mailman. There was them Pittsburgh drums and that Pittsburgh bass. I call it that drive-by bass. You know what I mean? Like,
but people credit it to be West Coast sound, and that's what I mean about us architecting the West Coast sound, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Eminem projects were done by Mailman. A lot of those big songs from him, especially the Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah, that first one.
So yeah, no, it's crazy when we talk about producers, and you mentioned Black Seas. Of course, we can't glaze over Black Seas because he did so many important things. Of course, the Jay-Z track being one of the biggest.
People leave out Info.
Okay, I'm not hip to Info.
People don't know Info. You know, Info, he produced a lot of stuff for us.
Okay,
but Info, you figure he did a lot of stuff for Dipset.
Okay.
And then he was signed to Cash Money for a while.
Damn.
You know what I mean? He produced Get 'Em Daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of probably Ricky P, he got the most extensive like industry catalog and a lot of stuff for Juice Man. You know what I mean? There's because that's Niceberg's childhood friend.
Okay. Which Niceberg's was a member of JSP.
Yeah. So we were fortunate enough to where a lot of beats that they had passed over at like Cash Money for like Busta Rhymes, and he produced for art and stuff like that. And it was around that time.
Yeah.
And he would just send us packs of like 30, 40 beats.
And you're getting industry level beats.
Yeah.
So while we're there, let's stay there, right? So for you with hip hop, because we don't want to glaze over this, right? We're getting a lot of history, and of course I want to have those conversations, but it's Cory Eaux here. So let's talk about Cory Eaux, man. For you with hip hop. How did Justice Street Poets come about, bro? What was the birth of Justice Street Poets?
Just the embryonic birth of it was Shinley High School.
Yeah.
Around senior year. It was originally me, Sharon Don, DJ Huggy, Lucky Face Dollars, and my boy John Filbert.
Okay.
Philly. That was the original JSP. And then Huggy, I remember John Filbert ended up going to jail. So this was maybe around like year 2000. And Huggy and Sharon Don ended up doing the hands down thing. I think they had like a situation. So that me and Sam decided to do our own JSP thing on our own.
So you guys kept the imprint going.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even aware that Sharon Don and Huggy was down with JSP.
Yeah, there was like in the inception of Just Us in high school. Yeah, they was original members. Yeah. Shout out to Sharon Don.
Yeah, for sure.
Sharon Don, I would definitely consider top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you about that top 10 too at some point in time. We ain't gonna go there yet, but we'll definitely get there. So after they left, you guys did a rebirth. You and Lucky Face did a rebirth.
Yeah, it was just us two for a while.
Yeah.
And then we got down with my boy Groove, a guy from Manchester. He's actually my girl's cousin, Groove Ransom. And he started doing a lot of production for us.
Okay.
And my boy Swizz. So they were kind of doing like in-house producer for us for a while. And then after they kind of, sometimes people don't always keep it going the same amount of time, but me and Sam kept doing our thing.
Yeah.
Nah. So we start doing mixtapes just by ourselves.
Yeah.
With beats we found on the internet,
any way you can get it. And this is and for those who may not understand it, this is before like you can type in beats.
Yeah. And there ain't no like beat sometimes like just I don't think artists know how easy they got. They can go on BeatStars.
Yeah.
Just find
because it's always important that we point this out, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. You'd have to go.
You would have to know somebody.
Yeah, or go and download a random beat CD that's a beat little mixtape that you found on that Piff and give your computer AIDS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll kill your computer.
For sure.
you know, we were just finding beats that we found was hard. Like, you know, beats that we kind of had a rule to where like if we couldn't do just as good or if not better than the original, we wouldn't rap on it.
Okay.
You know, that's just a rule that we kind of always kept. So we did that. We did about 2 tapes. We ended up running into this guy from Brandon B from Self-Made.
Okay.
And that's when we had the studio in Lawrenceville with Self-Made. That was maybe like 2 doors down from the original ID Labs.
Yeah, on Butler.
Yeah. So that's when you know, we had a little relationship with them. I was able to get some beats off E Dan and Black Caesar around that time, just from being so close to proximity to them and whatnot. And then
how did you get entangled in these circles? How did you find out where to go? Like, because once again, we're talking about a time before you can just search studios in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, we had like a little studio in the house that we did like a EP on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people end up hearing that EP. We did a couple hundred copies of that, and people end up hearing that.
Physical copies.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll pass them out down the Regatta.
Mm-hmm.
So down the Regatta, and that kind of spread amongst the hip hop community.
Yeah.
And then that's how we end up getting in touch with B from Self-Made.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did a lot of songs. There's a lot of songs with Self-Made, and they end up putting together industry project that we was on. Well, I would say I wouldn't say necessarily industry, but it was a professional project,
right?
With a barcode. You know, that really meant something then.
Yeah, and it was like a real
Yeah, we had Freddie P from the band on there.
Yeah,
Ambition.
Yeah,
before the Pretty Ricky days, because he was
yep.
real good friends with Sino from Self-Made, because he used to be down Lawrenceville with them. So that was their guy. They had him on a hook. We did some songs. You know, it was called Bottom Dollar by Self-Made Entertainment. Self-Made Entertainment then goes defunct. And that was really like Sino and his cousin, for whatever reason, really weren't friends anymore, or really weren't getting down anymore. Sino then contacted me, said he still wanted to make music.
Right.
And then that's how Sino got down.
With JSP.
Yeah. And then in the process of us creating that, my cousin, rest in peace, Mike the Barber, and a couple other people, Groove, that I just mentioned before, and kept telling me about Nice.
Yeah.
Just there's a guy, because Nice is from upstate New York.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Rochester.
Right.
So that's why I've been on that Rochester hip hop for so long, because I mean, like way before people was on Griselda and them, Nice had put me on.
Right.
I'll put that later.
Yeah, no, we're definitely gonna get to the tastemaker in you. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get to that.
So Nice came through. Nice added his sound. Nice brought, like, you know, the people that he messed with for his production, like B Rob, Diligent Music. He always blessed us with beats. Like, people just always blessed us, man. I mean, stuff that we should have been paying a lot of money for.
Right.
They're like, no, man, you guys are talented. And, you know, with a lot of producers, you know, a real producer got beats like we got rhymes.
Right.
Hundreds.
Right.
You're like, man, I want my beats to at least get heard. So a lot of them, you know, Ricky P, Info, a lot of people give us beats.
And it's important to point out, at that time, skills mattered, right?
Yeah.
I think now it's more of a popularity contest than it is about skills.
It's about optics.
It's about optics, yeah, for sure. Everybody wants the aesthetics. They want to, you know, they want it to look good. They want people to think it's cool, whatever. But back then, people wanted you to be nice.
Yeah, like everything that's one thing I'm proud of about JSP is any accolade that we've got, any stage that I've hit, any award that I've got, or any contest I've won was off of skills.
Right.
You know, there wasn't no fluff or nothing about that. It was like, how good can these guys make music?
Right. 100%. 100%. So you're moving on. You form JSP as we know it.
Yeah, as a collective. Yeah,
as a collective. When did you figure out, like, okay, this is it? Now we got the team.
It was around that time. Sometimes it was difficult with me being the curator.
Yeah,
like,
because you went through a lot of changes. That's got to be deflating, right? Like seeing people come, seeing people go.
It was more so we all make a different kind of music. Like, when me and Sam is something completely different than when it's just me and Nice.
Right.
Or when it's me, Nice, and Sino is something different than when it's me, Nice, and Face.
Right.
Or is it something when it's just Sino and when it's just Face or just me? They're all completely different sounds.
Right.
And I wish I had knew more about the music industry and curating sounds at that point, to where I would have more centralized those sounds so people could develop their fan bases a little bit better. Like the nice fans could have what they wanted, and my fans could have what they wanted.
How would you have approached it differently, knowing what you know now?
There would have just I wish there'd have been more time to make more people have more solo projects.
Yeah.
And so just so people could further curate their sound.
Yeah. You think that would have helped people get more interested in a group as they known the members individually?
Yeah, that was always my dream and my vision with the JSP, is for everybody to get to do their solo thing.
Yeah.
Because Nice came into the group. We always had a vision for Nice to do his solo thing.
Yeah.
Immediately when he was coming into the group, it was always had a vision. Casino made more trap music, more street music, and then me and Face. So it was always a vision for him to be able to do his own thing.
Yeah.
And I would kind of just what matters floating between the three, because I like everything.
Yeah.
So I would kind of like float between all of them, kind of like maybe curate or help with picking a production like I did with most of it.
Yeah, and to me, for me, I can only speak for myself in this. You were always kind of like the face of the group.
Yeah.
And anytime I thought of Justice Street Poets, you were one of the people that I thought of when they came to Justice Street Poets. And I think, like I said, at that time, it was a lot about skills, but you also were always very vocal too, right? And you didn't mind, like now, like I said, it's a lot about popularity. You didn't mind having the unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
You were one of the first artists in that circle of artists that we're talking about, like the Monsters of the Mic, that I heard openly say, like, Commonwealth family's hard as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they did something different. Like, it was a lot of backpack type stuff.
Yeah.
At that time, and I love Commonwealth, and anybody knows me. I know.
There's any dissension I used to have with Commonwealth is because everybody need somebody to go against,
right? And
us and Commonwealth were really kind of the same thing,
right?
We just made different kind of music,
right?
I wish, because I think Jesse Ricketts is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like Roscoe is a genius.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those are my dogs, man.
Like Commonwealth was hard, man.
Yeah.
Commonwealth was hard because they used to just, and like I used to be jealous of Commonwealth a little bit because they just made so much fly shit.
Yeah.
And like you know what I mean? And it was just dope to see them grow.
Yeah.
And be themselves, and what Jesse was curating over there.
Yeah.
I always appreciate them people like the Spank, Matt Cartel.
Yes. Yep.
RI with Commonwealth family. Like me, like people that I see are like the architects of what's going on over there.
Yep.
I always took like a liking to see like what their movement was doing.
Same, bro. And that's why I said that's why I'm excited about this conversation, because I know you see hip hop in a lot of the same ways I do. And Commonwealth's one of my favorite groups from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think Jesse might still be making music.
He is, yeah.
I know that that Rose Gold.
Yeah,
it was hard.
It was hard, yeah.
That Rose Gold was hard.
Yeah, no, that's my dog. We still stay in contact pretty regularly, and he's definitely back into it. And I always talk about this on the show as well. It's one of the themes that I find in hip hop is whenever we first start doing it, especially when you come from the generation we do, you do it because you love to do it. You do it because you're passionate about it. There's no care about making it or any of that stuff. You're just doing it because you love to make music. But once you're in it and you're actively pursuing it, you start doing it for different reasons. You start doing it to make it big. You start doing it to make songs that you think
music for certain crowds.
Yes,
that's why
exactly.
Now, like a lot of my stuff, I don't even got no hooks.
Right,
I'll be rapping because I feel like painting.
I want to
paint my paint. I want to paint.
This is the final stage, right? So that's the second stage, is doing it for all of the wrong reasons. Then you fall out of love with it. You lose passion when you do it for all those wrong reasons. So either one of two things happen: either you fall out of love and you quit and you just don't do it no more, or you reconnect with the original purpose of why you did it, and you do it for the love of the music again, and you find that space. And I say that to say that RI is very much in that space, that third.
You make art, for people to understand. Like if somebody did a post, like people like try to say something about people that make hip hop at a certain age or whatnot, or a certain past a certain whatever. And then like if you just make a post, like click like on this post if somebody that you have loved has something to do with hip hop in your life. ever.
Yeah.
They may have been engineer, they may have been a producer, they may have been. All right, so if everybody was honest, this post would have hundreds of thousands of likes.
Right.
Right. How many of those people do you think actually got to make money off their art?
Right.
It's not a lot. There's a very small percentage of people that make a living off their art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to understand that the vast majority of people that make hip hop, we make hip hop because we love it.
Yeah.
That's why we started. We started because we were fans, and it grew into something else. Once it becomes that ingrained in you and that much of a part of you, and it's something that you've done for the past 20, 25 years, if it's something that you truly love, you can't just quit.
You can't quit it, yeah.
It's not like, I told this story on Collage's podcast. Like, I don't know if you know, but there used to be this guy downtown who used to play the saxophone at Fifth Avenue Place.
Yeah, right? I just seen him at the Pirates game. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I splow him up every time I say, all right, so let's take this guy, right? And I remember somebody tried to stun on him. He put out a wad of money on him. Like, you think I'm doing this because I need y'all's? No, he's playing a saxophone because he's nice.
Yeah, because he love to do it.
Because he's nice. Like, I'm great at this, and somebody need to hear this.
Yeah.
Whoever hear it,
he's fulfilling it.
And he's my biggest example of like why those of us that still create hip hop do it. Yeah. I'm painting, man, because I done spent 40,000 hours learning how to paint.
Right.
And you can't tell me I'm not going to paint.
Right.
I want to paint.
And hip hop's the only genre that does it too, right?
Yeah.
Hip hop's the only genre
that ages a minute, because you figure hip hop's also the only genre that's weaponized.
Right.
And it's the only genre that tries to keep our men at a certain place and our women at a certain place mentally.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's just when I say it's weaponized, because there's no other place to where there are certain stages that it goes in.
No, you absolutely. I like where you're going with this.
Like, here's the stages to where first was they turned a lot of our men into, drug dealers and over, you know what I mean, masculization and you know what I mean, hyper masculine, over sexualized the gangster rap and all that.
Yep.
Then they turned them all to fiends.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Now if they turn them all to fiends, then they start turning them all, you know what I mean,
demasculating them.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Now the next, what's the next step? They start over sexualizing the females.
Yep.
With the hoe rap.
Yep.
Now the next step is the female fight music, I call it. To where now it's going to be females being hyper masculine. They're basically ogres on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the next step.
Now they're the male energy.
Yep. Yeah. Where this is the evolution beyond the sexy reds and the lottos and all that stuff. This is chicks like I Am Jigs, like Big Pussy, like that chick. You know what I mean? And I listen to everything. Yeah. Like it's some of her stuff is hard. Yeah. But I also see what it could do to our community. Like, this is when they're saying like somebody's an industry plant, it's because I knew Sexy Red was gonna blow. I called it. You was one of my friends to where I was listening to Sexy Red way before everybody. Yes. Like, oh, this is next. But I also listen to chicks like Shay Noir. Yeah. And they're never going to give somebody with a message like Shay Noir is like, you know what I mean? I told my man he got to give me a ring before I give him a baby. Yeah. I got all that money and started spending it crazy. Like, they're not going to push that message. And then when they say somebody's an industry plant, that's what they're saying.
No, 100%. And I definitely want to get into this because it is a big thing. Like they weaponize hip hop because they found the power in hip hop, right? Like if you watch any commercial, it tipped like the 90%. I'm not going to say 90, but to be fair, probably 75% of commercials has some sort of element of hip hop to it. I'm trying to be conservative, but they have some element of hip hop.
The jingle, that they have, or the words that they're using. Like some of these people don't even know that this is hip hop slang that they're using.
Yes. Like, how often does hip hop slang become a part of our common dialect? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up is a great example of that because that wasn't that, and it's so regular now. You'll see it in emails, professional office emails. What's up? But to your point of them weaponizing it, whatever hip hop says do, people do. Yes. And once they realize that the commercial appeal of hip hop, they utilize it to the fullest. And like you said, they had certain things that they wanted our society to do because people were like, oh, people don't make this type of music no more.
They want to keep us young minded.
Yeah, well, they want to keep us. They want to drive us in the direction they want us to go, like you said. So they wanted to drive us in jails. They wanted to make us drug dealers and gangsters. They wanted to, like you say, give us that extra toughness or whatever, so they can put us in a system. You know what I mean? So whatever they're trying to gear us to do, that's what they're doing, and it's usually to take the family structure away from the culture.
And there's no other genre of music to where that's done.
Right.
To where there's a reason. People say, "Oh, we can only find this kind of music." No, that's not true.
That's not true.
You can find any type of hip hop that you.
But that's not what they're pushing.
But that's not what they're pushing.
Yep. And that's the point I was getting to. Is that right?
They're pushing the more kinetic stuff. They don't want us to think, and it should be a yin and a yang. You should. Yes. People are always going to want to dance. People are always going to sit back, kick back, and think, and look lyrics that you got to read. There's some people are not going to. People don't always want to think when they listen to hip hop. Sometimes they just want to feel.
Yeah, if we're having a barbecue, I don't want to. I don't want that vibe. I want some. Yeah. I want to dance. I want to move. But if I'm in a car on a long ride, I might want to concentrate and think. You know, I might want Nas in the system giving me something to think about.
Like I was saying, I was talking about the whole Drake Kendrick thing, and I was like, what if Kendrick was chose purposely, right? Because no disrespect to Kendrick, I love Kendrick.
Yeah,
but we don't party to Kendrick,
right?
Why would they choose 100%. For a party, right? We party to other stuff. Kendrick's not who. That's why with some of us that really listen to hip hop, be like, well, that was a different choice. I see the choice on the year, but that was an odd choice for the Super Bowl.
Right.
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 Like when we listen to party music, we think of Ja Rule, Nelly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Drake. Like we think of those are the people that we party to.
Right.
Kendrick's a cerebral artist. Right. Kendrick, that's why we love him so much, because he keeps that alive.
Yeah.
You know, not to speak that whole thing too much, you know, but like some of us were looking like, well, that was an interesting pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It made you think.
You think it was calculated?
I think it could have. I do. Looking at just what, and this is an objective thing. This isn't a subjective thing about how I feel about either artist, because I love both artists.
Yes. Yeah.
You know me how I feel about that. I listen to everything.
I'm on the same. I'm in the same way.
I think I was looking at it when I was watching this one thing, and they're talking about, like, I guess Drake's deal was up.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the UMG stock price is going down, and there would be someone to be able to devalue his catalog, they would stand to win. Yeah. We've never seen a song get white labeled before.
Yeah.
And to where it incentivizes social media people to make more reels about it and make more money.
Damn,
and like there's something, and if you devalue his catalog, you know, if you feel what I'm saying, that's like saying the guy put it like, imagine saying you selling the Spurs, right? But you don't get Wemby.
Who wants that?
Oh. And so until they're able to get this deal going on with Drake, there's millions sitting there.
Billions
sitting there. When you're looking at like his catalog is, the leverage of his catalog, somebody's going to have to give him billions.
He's the new age Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson or whoever that iconic artist is, right?
And like I think like a lot of, you know, the 50 plus somethings didn't really, they seen that Michael Jackson glove, they took immediate offense. No, that glove meant something way bigger.
Yeah.
Once you look at what was going on in these are all objective points I'm giving. It don't matter how you feel about Drake personally. We're just looking at the music industry. And he was in I guess what I'm seeing is what he was able to show was just by his sway. He broke a new artist.
Yeah.
He filled up the entire charts.
Yep.
Somebody's going to have to, there wasn't nothing on the charts for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, they're showing what his value is to the industry.
100%.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point, bro. I like the way that you broke that down. And the narratives. So this is two parts, right? Because I'm glad that we had this conversation. Have you noticed that how they've been trying to rewrite hip hop history recently? And the narrative, and one of the narratives with this Drake, and I revisited. I'm like, now the dust is settled. I was like, can we just admit that Drake really won that? Like, Family Matters was the better battle track if it's between Not Like Us and Family Matters. Family Matters clearly the better battle track.
I agree.
Not Like Us was catchy.
Yeah.
But Family Matters is just and the fact that people were like, this Iceman album isn't good. Like, bro, this Iceman album is fire.
It's fantastic.
It's
like,
fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And I don't listen to music like that.
Yeah.
I don't listen to like, I like who I like. Yeah. And also what touches me personally is I'm gonna have more akin to, but I listen to all hip hop objectively.
Same.
That's why I listen to everything
Me
from
too.
obscure SoundCloud tracks to meme rap to, like, I even knew what's his name? Blunt's dude, the big huge.
Oh yeah.
I even knew that he was going to blow because I was like,
Dave Blunt.
Dave Blunt. There's nobody really in this lane of this self-deprecating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nobody in this lane that's big. I said I could see this going somewhere because it's basically just another version of meme rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I don't look at it like how people just naturally just hate on something.
Same, yeah.
Only thing I don't do is drill music.
Yeah.
Because I don't like people singing about
the spirit of it.
Yeah.
I
don't like people singing about killing. Like,
well, yeah, and that's
like, yeah.
I warn my kids about this a lot of times. Like, be careful what you say, because if you say stuff in jest, and I'm like, your words have power. Words are very powerful, and the energy that you give to it. And even sometimes I won't say certain stuff in songs. Like, I know a song says a certain thing. Like, there's this August Alsina song that he got big for the downtown, right? And I love that song, and I sing it all the time. But I won't say the part where he says somebody done killed my brother. Like, I'll never sing that part. For the same reason you're saying, and I know what you say about, like, I went through a drill music phase where I studied it because I'm a fan of hip hop. So I was like, what's the lore? I wanted
to see the lore. Me too.
I went through the whole thing of it, but much like you, and even while I'm watching, it gave me goosebumps. I'm like, this is like,
these are sigils.
Yeah, this is it. And a lot of those guys that they're talking about that are dead are kids.
Yes.
14, 15, 16-year-old kids
with like serial killer jackets on them.
Yeah.
Like, that's
kids,
serious. Bro. Like, I just once I learned, I was like, oh, y'all really like doing this and then rapping about it the next day? Like this is.
And the thing is, and to the point that, to round back to what we were just talking about, them pushing narratives, right? I watched like whenever I went through, I watched like 2 hours, 3 hours. Me and my girl was watching like 2 or 3 hours of drill rap stuff, and I'm like, damn, I know everything that just happened in Chicago. I know who murdered who and everything. I was like, how the cops aren't arresting these? Like, they have to know if I know it, they have to know it, right?
If you could just go on YouTube and all these lore pages and this, I'm like, how, like, y'all can't be like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just a big proponent that a lot of people that people think are crazy really have learning disabilities.
Yeah.
Like, you're one of the kids from the slow classes.
Yep.
You don't have the cognitive ability to make adult decisions.
Yep.
And that goes for a lot of people, even adults that are making music. You are slow.
Yeah.
You're not crazy. You don't have the cognitive ability to make adult decisions.
You're right. You're right.
I mean? Like, there's a difference between them and like a true psychopath. Like, we done ran across psychopaths.
Sure.
You done been upstate. You done seen a true psychopath.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody, oh no, you're crazy for real.
Like, you can't help this.
You can't help it. You think this is what it is. No. No, a lot of these kids be slow, man.
Yeah. No, I agree.
No option.
I agree. No, so that's a good topic, man. That's why I like I said, I knew this was going to be good for that reason. So back to the JSP story. So you guys are going through it. You figured out that you got what you want there. You got the members that are going to be the members for JSP. When did you get that validation? Like, damn, we do have something. Like, this is real. This is serious. What was that moment or moments of validation that let you know this is what it's supposed to be?
There was times when Hater Magnet was at its peak, where people would send me pictures of just random people wearing Hater Magnet shirts.
Yeah.
And it became like a cult. That was cool. That was cool, just to have them Hater Magnet shirts out there. Like,
hell yeah.
That whole movement. I think the only maybe clothing brand in Pittsburgh that's been around longer than us is Ikewear.
Yeah.
That I can think of.
Same, yeah.
And there was a time we did Faded Fest. And this one we used to still rock the whistles.
Yeah.
And we started like a little mini riot, and they kicked us out. And I was blowing the whistle. And then when they kicked us out, like 60 people left with us.
Damn.
And Yeah, I enjoy creating spectacles like that.
Yeah.
I like to show like a group's true power in the city, because the vast majority of people in the city, I feel, couldn't sell tickets.
Right.
And like it was like towards the end, like the promoters was like, let me keep half, because they know I'm going to sell 20, 30 tickets, and other acts weren't really able to do that.
Right.
And that's one thing. Because I had a lot of dope shows. You put me on the one dip in Vegas.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You
Hydro. Shout out Hydro, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Hydro.
That's my dog still.
Yeah. You was like, yo, you going to Vegas? You was like, man, let me plug you in with somebody so you can perform. So that was during like my height. I got to perform on the Vegas Strip thanks to you.
Yeah.
Man, and that was that was one of the craziest shows I did. I did that by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just happened to be going out there for a wedding.
Yeah. Shout out Hydro, man. Hydro's a Vegas artist. For those who don't know, Hydro has I don't believe it's still going on, but he had one of the longest running hip hop series, if not the longest running hip hop series in Vegas, called Hip Hop Roots, which he was trying to expand. We were talking about expanding that. And Hydro's just an icon in Vegas, even to this day. I was on tour with this artist named Echo from Vegas, who's one of the bigger artists from Vegas.
Okay.
And I told him I knew Hydro. He's like, damn, you know Hydro, man? He's like, I used to look up to Hydro, and like Echo's doing big things in his own space. So it was funny to see his admiration for Dro, man. And Dro's a solid dude. I went up there. The way I met him was I went up there for a show. I went over with my brother, and we ended up booking a show there. And I'm a networking dude, so I started talking to him and kicking it with him, and it was just a showcase at first, but he had a real show after that. So he enjoyed our performance and enjoyed us so much. He was like, stay for the show. I'll put you on a bill. And then he kicked it with us for the rest of the night in Vegas and became a good friend of mine to this day. Still rock with him. So that's why whenever you said you was going to Vegas during the time you did, it was an easy connection. And he's a real one. And
it was real smooth too.
Yeah.
Just, come through, we rapped, he put me on a bill.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and rocked a couple jams and went on about my night. That was so cool, man.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. Shout out Hydro, man. I love that dude. So you guys are doing your thing. You're at the height of your success with JSP. You guys are rocking out. What happened to JSP, the group?
Sino ended up going to prison. It was crazy. Like when the feds came and got him, they was reciting lyrics. So I'm on it. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm on it, boy. We had just dropped that. We about to drop Magnanimous. So Sino goes to prison, and he got a couple years. And then I still kept doing my thing.
Yeah,
that's when I kind of went solo.
Yeah, so
doing the solo stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, so you doing the solo thing, and like I said, you were kind of, to me anyway, you were always the face of JSP anyway. So it was probably an easy transition to step into the solo space, and then this is kind of where we get to see you like flash the things that you were doing in a group in a solo effort, and I think it was kind of even more appealing to see you in that light. And Swank God was born, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like when I went solo, that's when I right before I started doing insurance. Like you figure I had won like every competition. I had won the Brain the BMW song competition, and then I had won the Put Up or Shut Up scraps competition, and then I had the Battle with Dice.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that for sure.
And then we had the Cypher with the Pumas.
Yeah.
And then my Cypher verse was, and then so that was pretty much all at the same time. That was all the same year.
So that's great promotion for you unintentionally.
Yeah.
Right.
But I always feel people like to throw that term around about I'm this and that GOAT term and whatnot, but people don't really got no metrics to back it up.
Yeah.
If we're being 100% honest.
Right.
Like people just
you're the GOAT based off of what?
Off of what?
Yeah.
Off of what? Like have it like you can't really say nothing about your sword if it ain't never seen no blood.
Right.
That's how I look at hip hop. Like people always say they did this and they did that, and All right, if we're talking about just in the space of hip hop, we're talking about metrics. Says who?
Right.
Says who? You're who's GOAT. Like what have you done that somebody hasn't done?
Right.
Well, you had a fleeting moment online or something?
Right.
Come on, man. There's people that have done way more than that, way more like solidified shit.
Yeah.
To where, just my opinion.
I agree with that.
Like what are people's metrics
for saying?
You figure I even did a verse K Pound.
Yeah.
Well, nobody got more industry features than K Pound.
Yeah. Shout out Pound, yeah, for sure.
K Pound, that's my guy. Shout out Pound.
Yeah.
So, what is y'all's metrics for this?
Right. No, and that's a real point. And like I said, seeing you do your thing around that time, and like I said, you always had an ear for things. You always kind of seen things coming along. And I remember at one point in time you had the group with Afterthought, right? That there was a phase
with BB
guns and Afterthought, right? Yeah. And that was interesting because that was early on in both those acts' careers, right? And you kind of, for me anyway, for like I said, I can only speak for myself and how I seen it. You kind of gave those guys a cosign to make them more legitimate. You know what I mean? And these guys now, both Afterthought and BB Guns themselves as a collective, right? They're pretty big in their spaces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're pretty big in their spaces now, and they've grown their own legends now. But at this time, this is before that.
Yeah.
And you kind of gave them your stamp of approval.
Because they were dope.
Right.
And people will overlook dope over optics.
Yeah.
And Afterthought was like, he was really back and forth cross country, you know what I mean, doing stuff with Taylor Gang. He was dropping off Hater Magnet clothes for us with Wiz and doing all kinds of stuff, like getting us some
really grinding.
Yeah, and getting our clothes in places like, you know what I mean? We got him a couple of flights, and you know what I mean? It was a sweat equity thing that we was doing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And people fail to realize that they see people in certain spaces and they want favors from these people, but don't realize what the people had to do to get in those spaces. Don't realize the legwork, and don't realize why people look at them they're crazy when you're asking for these things. When, bro, I just had to travel this many miles, this many times. I had to fight with my girl because I had to go out late last night. I've
seen what Afterthought was doing when he was, you know what I mean? And that's when, you know what I mean, he was down with, I mean, Vinny, that was down with us, a Hater Magnet. You know, I mean, he was working at the airline and whatnot. He was able to get him some flights to make some stuff easier for him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how we end up getting real close.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, with Bars and Justin,
JP,
they were just dope. Like Lazy JP, one of the only people that ever made me cry for one of his songs.
Yeah.
Like Lazy JP make music that touched my spirit.
Yeah.
Bars is one of the only few people I think got out on me on a track.
Yeah.
Like really like, you got that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on that State of Emergency. And Afterthought was just one of
a grinder, man.
The true like trailblazer, the tastemaker.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I always respected that about him.
Yeah, man. No, and when I seen you got with them, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I rocked with both of those groups myself individually at that time as well. And I seen JP early on at it might have been a Monsters. It was one of Ivory's shows. I don't know if it was Monsters on Mike or were the other ones, and he did the All Falls Down. I'm like, bro's got it.
That's when I told everybody. I said, oh, he's one of them ones.
Same, yeah, bro.
He's one of them ones. Like I love Justin's music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Bars is pen.
Yeah.
Both of their pen.
Both of their pens, yeah. And they're creative, right? They're a special type of creative.
I feel like if I look at hip hop as a hip hop mansion, and some people like to just stay in a couple rooms that they think is cool. You're one of them groups. They went and found a whole nother room that never been annexed to the hip hop mansion. It's like, no, we're gonna set up here.
Yep.
And bring people in here. They gonna come check this out. You know, that's one of the things that we were trying to accomplish. Like let's make something that's never been heard before.
Right.
You know,
and you guys did it. You accomplished it, and you did some great things. And I think that helped all the individuals that were a part of that to branch out and to kind of, like I said, I think you giving them your stamp, and once again, this is just the way I see it. Also help those guys to get more legitimacy in the eyes of other people in the hip hop scene. So you're doing your solo thing, you know what I mean? You're seeing the success of that, like you said. How did the battle? I was there for this battle too. I was present at that battle. How did How did that come about with Dice? Shout out to Dice, man. We had Dice on the show. Make sure if y'all haven't seen that episode with Harley Dice and BB Guns, we had them on as well. Make sure y'all check out those episodes as well. How did the battle with Dice come about? Because you're not a battle rapper per se.
No, I've never battled ever.
Never?
That was my only battle ever.
Not even on the schoolyard?
No.
Never. Okay. All right. That's great because you murked it. So how did that battle come about?
I'm a writer. I'm a writer.
Yeah.
And shout out to Dice, because Dice is one of the best artists in the city.
100%. That's what I be trying to, man.
If you ever hear his catalog,
crazy.
Dice is like, I would have to put Dice in my top 10 for real.
Bro, crazy.
Like Dice is a monster.
You can't take nothing from him, bro.
No. If you ever listen to Dice's catalog, that boy could make some music.
Listen, we had the Rom Cow. We just had the Rom Cow 4v4, and Dice was on the opposite team, and my team kept saying like, "We ain't worried about none of them." I was like, "Listen, Dice."
I said, "Dice is a."
Bro, I said, listen, I said, y'all can't sleep on Dice. They're like,
no, for play. Dice is not for play.
I said, y'all can't sleep on Dice. I said, Dice. They're like, no, bro, we ain't worried about that. I said, that's the one we got to be worried about.
Yes.
Is him.
He is the one you got. That's why.
Bro, well, I almost made that. It's over now. So I can say, I said, I almost made a call to you to tell you to come out for extra prop for bro because of the battle.
Like, that's why you don't know how many battles that man got.
Yes.
You don't. Dice is one of them people. Like in the heyday of Pittsburgh hip hop, he was on the corner chewing everybody.
Yes,
way before you.
He's one of the first Pittsburgh artists. Like I told you, when I came to the city. One of the dudes that was in a halfway house, Jesse, his brother was in Kingstone Kings, and Dice was one of the first artists that I became familiar with. And I used to see Dice all the time downtown in the 412 jersey, pushing CDs. Dice was a grinder.
Yes,
he was a grinder
from day one.
Yeah, from day one. So you got to put respect on bros, man. You got to put.
That's why that battle wasn't no easy feat.
Yeah,
he slept on me.
Yes, yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
he thought, because like he had to have well over 100 battles.
Yeah,
like he's had like on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I done walked past plenty of ciphers, like, but that white boy chewing these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
everybody knew Dice is not just his pen, just off top.
Right,
and it was just at the time to where his aesthetic and Cino's aesthetic was just too much alike.
Yeah, that's true.
Out of nowhere though.
That's true.
And I ain't like.
You mean when he switched over to Harley Dice when he dropped the 412 jersey and got the leathers and all that?
Right, because that didn't really sit right.
Damn, I ain't never think about that. Yeah, you're right.
That's how that happened.
Okay.
That's how that happened.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I don't really talk about the story, but yeah, man, there was a hit put out. Like, nah, we can't let that slide.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? He knew it was happening. He's not dumb.
No.
He's not dumb. So I start trying, you know what I mean, baiting him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just didn't know I was going to be prepared as I was.
Right. I remember the third round, you was like, you said we was going to freestyle the third round. I already knew you was going to be on something. He was like, I was ready for you.
Yeah.
You came prepared.
Yeah. I'm not no freestyler.
Right.
But I will save my murder verse for
last. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man. He should have knew.
Yeah.
Like you should have knew that was. He knew what it was.
Right.
Like, this is a setup.
Yeah.
And that was just because we didn't understand, because Cino, it's just why, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't understand why would you choose that aesthetic.
Yeah, it was different. It was different from what we known him from. Like I said, we knew the 412 jersey. We knew but that was already Cino's aesthetic though. Right, yeah.
Because that's
from
what Cino was doing.
From the jump, yeah.
Cino was a biker,
yeah,
trapping,
yeah.
And that was his aesthetic.
Right.
That was like, it wasn't like a look.
Right.
And
that was who he was.
That's who he was.
Yeah.
And then we felt like, yo, fam,
this is not who you are.
That's not what's going on.
Right, yeah.
Like, our feelings was hurt.
Yeah.
Because we're trying hard to do this, and then you trying to. That's all that was.
Yeah.
It wasn't no shade to.
No, obviously you got to respect and admiration for bro.
Man,
yeah.
Dice is hard.
Yeah.
Dice is hard.
Yeah.
I know who's hard and who ain't.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I knew it wasn't gonna be nothing easy. And
it's legendary, right? That battle. I mean, people still talk about it to this day.
Like,
how many years ago was that? That had to be
Those were
10 years ago.
10, 11.
Yeah. But people still talk about it to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just seen Yaka. I seen Yaka get me a smack burger, and he brought it out. Yo, go to New Smack Burger.
Yeah.
New Smack Burger. It's fire. I just had some wings and some burgers from there. Go see Goated.
Mm-hmm.
Man, everybody that was a Pittsburgh hip hop. I mean, Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck do Dick LeBeau. He do the Goated wings.
Kimmy too. Chemical got some.
Shout out to Kimmy. Yeah, Kimmy. Yeah,
Kimmy's Kitchen, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chemical too.
Yeah.
Chemical was one of them people that we always, embraced. Him and Ciego.
Yeah.
We always embraced the OV. But every single show that I did, I tried to bring them with me because I always respected him and his pen.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I ain't talked to him in a long time now.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the boys everybody's doing good, man. Everybody's doing these different ventures, and
I go show up and support every time I can.
Same, bro. Same.
I had them go to Wings like 3 times already.
Yeah, man. Support, and you see people trying to do something positive in their lives in the community, man. You got to be a part of that and push it ahead.
People, it's hard for someone that creates art to do that transition.
Yeah.
Into whatever they're doing.
For sure.
I had seen a post that somebody made about how that transition was hard for them. The Come Up. Your boy from the Come Up.
Yeah.
And he said he's been on tour with Mac and coming back and making that transition.
Talk about franchise.
Yes.
Fran. Yeah.
Fran.
Yep.
Fran's dope too.
Yeah. That was my first. That's my first episode ever. Was Fran?
Yeah, Fran's super nice.
Yeah, Fran's my first episode. I think he's one of the most, to me, one of the most underrated MCs in Pittsburgh hip hop is Fran, and the other one is JKJ. I think those two are highly underrated.
JKJ is super nice.
Yeah, and he's got to talk about a catalog. Bro's got. I think when he came on the episode, he had 10 projects.
Yeah,
and he probably done dropped 5 more since then.
You know who else got a catalog like that? Get slept on?
Who?
Why I'm the Kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Why I'm the Kid got a catalog. I hope because
I like when they formed their group, the Camp.
Image. The Camp was hard.
Yeah,
I like that. Was hard. They was like a nice little super group. Because I think Airy, Kid A, he's one of the best MCs in the city.
Another one that's underrated. Yeah,
like he's definitely one of the most underrated. His pen is. Yeah, he's.
I like what he did on the BB Guns project. Yeah. No, for sure, man. See, man, I could talk to you for hours about this type of shit, bro. Because there's so much history and so much to talk about with it, and so much that you've been a part of, yourself personally, and so much that you have with that. But while I'm thinking about it, tell the people how they can get a hold of you, how they can follow you if they want to see what you got going on.
You can find me anywhere. I'm the Rapping Insurance Man on TikTok. O_ the Swink God on IG. Cory Eaux on Facebook, CORYEAUX, and you can find me Cory Eaux Dome's Insurance Network. As far as like what I do, as far as like my day job.
I ain't rushing you. We still got time, so I don't want you to worry. It's your time. We got as much time as you want to need, but I just want to make sure that we get that out there while I'm thinking about it. Definitely want them to follow your journey and what you're doing, and go ahead, reach out to the man to get that insurance right, man. That's
you can definitely. I've helped over 1,000 families over here and throughout Western PA, over a couple of Eastern PA, Ohio. So I've helped with a lot of families. Yeah, man. No,
insurance is important, bro. It's one of those things that when you're younger, you take it for granted. You don't think about that shit, bro.
Like one thing I didn't learn, like I think like 7% of people that start insurance make it past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think only 8% of insurance professionals are Black men.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy stat.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat.
So that's learning that made me feel proud that I've made it this far.
Yeah. And you hit the ground running.
Yeah. And still doing it and keeping a semblance of being myself.
Yeah.
While doing it. Because that's something I struggled with in the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's like the marriage of those two worlds.
Yeah. The aesthetic of it all and how people may the way people may perceive you. Because in a professional world, it's tough to be. Yeah, it's tough to be a Black man in a professional world,
especially a Black man that deals with hip hop or rap.
Yeah.
I remember my one.
Because there's a stigma that comes.
Yeah, my manager. I remember the last job I told that I made music. They made me battle for a PTO day. I chewed that motherfucker up for that PTO day. Right in the break room, too. I chewed him up for that PTO day. That's when I was working at American Electric Power.
That's hilarious. No, but
shout out to Gerard. On everything, Gerard made me battle that dude for that PTO day. He honored his word. He gave me that PTO day.
Yeah, your PTO day. That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah. And then after that, I never told another person.
Like, y'all ain't gonna have me in here performing for y'all.
I'm not here monkey shining for y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like now, they know that I make music where I work now. They don't. Anytime they say, Cory, you going?
They already know.
Y'all better pass the hat around first,
right?
Or go look and listen to my spot. The 40, 50 songs I got on Spotify.
Hey, when I got a show, I'll let y'all know. Buy them tickets, man. Yeah. We'll get you in there.
I'm beyond that point in my life to where I'm rap and entertain people. I just make art because I like to make art.
Yeah. No, it's Clark Kent and Superman, right?
Yeah,
it's Clark Kent and Superman. No, for sure. So all that history, for you, from doing all these things, from influencing all these other artists, from helping all of these other artists along the way and growing, to where you are now, like, what do you look back on, and how do you feel about your legacy in hip hop in Pittsburgh not just Pittsburgh hip hop, but in hip hop in general? Like, where do you see yourself in the grand scheme of that?
I'm just proud of what I've done because, from an artist that was here before streaming, and to know what we did and to know the influence we had on the city. And it just makes me proud to do what I've done.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm doing these conversations, just cementing our legacy, because sometimes I feel we were never the most popular, and like Ricky always say, like sometimes people tolerate you.
Yeah.
Instead, they don't really like you. They just tolerate you.
Yeah.
They don't have an admiration. It's a tolerance because you're a force to be reckoned with.
Because they got to respect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it was a lot of that with us. People just tolerating us because they had to. And then people were fans. And so we had a movement. But I'm just proud of what we done, that we were able to make something that's still to be listened to. We're going to drop our greatest favorites soon. It's like 50 tracks. Because, we got like 10, 15 projects between all of us.
Right.
So we're going to drop like 25 and 25. I'm curating that now.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then
that's important.
Yeah, just so it exists.
Yeah.
Just so it exists. Because Image, Image, Image?
Mm-mm.
Image got a lot of the Pittsburgh hip hop on his hard drive.
Okay.
He was able to save my whole catalog.
That's crazy.
After that Piff went down.
Yeah.
I hit up Image. Shout out to Image, man.
Shout
out to Matt Image. That is my guy, man. My Virgo
he saved
homie. You? I hit up Image. I said, fam, would you happen to have?
Broke you off.
I think he has like all of Pittsburgh hip hop. He probably got all your joints, like anything anybody's ever dropped.
Get out of here.
Matt Image has it.
Okay, I might have to tap in for sure.
Yeah, y'all might have to pay. Y'all might have to start paying him now.
Yeah.
Like to say, like on everything that man blessed me, because he's a cure. He
definitely killed me, bro.
Yeah, yo, holla Image. I bet you he got it because he got everything from Pittsburgh hip hop.
He said he got everything.
No, I'm not playing. Hey. Listen, he said he sent me all of the Just Us joints, all of the singles I ever dropped, all of the Cory Eaux dips. Like here's some files, bro.
That's crazy.
Some Oreo. I looked. I said,
thank you.
Shout out to because there's people like that love the culture.
Yes, yeah.
He loves the culture.
It's a strong culture, right?
Yeah,
it's a strong culture, and I think I don't think the new guys get enough credit, and this new school that's coming up gets enough credit from the old school, and vice versa, of course. I don't think, and I think for the new school, they just don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't like it was pre-internet like it is now. Everything wasn't documented the way it is now. So I think that they don't give it the credit because they just aren't aware.
Who do you got anybody that you really like that's new, like at a newer?
Yeah, for sure. You know I do this.
Really like other than BB Guns.
Who's that?
First Lady.
Yeah.
First Lady
sure.
hard to me. I don't care.
Sure.
I like that. I like First Lady. I like Niecy Poo too.
I'll put you on something for real, bro. I'll put you on.
I like them boys from Uniontown.
Oh, you talking about tripping now?
Yeah, they
You
be
heard
making
that?
some stuff with
Yeah,
Rick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Six shot.
And trip.
Yeah, I like them boys. I like them too.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, they're doing their thing for sure.
I like the music they're making. There's some stuff I just don't. If it's Pittsburgh and it sound like drill, you ain't gonna hit my radar.
Yeah.
Cause I don't. I just.
I'll put you on, bro.
Please. There's one dude. I wish I could remember his name. I seen him on the 96. I said, "Ooh, he's spitting." He's a younger dude. Oh, I gotta look. Once I remember, I'll let you know.
All right, yeah. Let me know. I'm curious who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like Rel Z the Genius is one of my favorite youngins coming up. You familiar with Rel Z?
Mm-hmm.
Rel Z be spitting. I really like Ghost. I just tapped into Ghost really. He was on an interview here and he's got a crazy catalog. Super talented. You'll rock with Ghost too. Those are the two that really stick out for me. For some of the newer guys, some of this younger generation, they're hard. They got a lot of females that are doing some things.
There's one
right
jam like that First Lady dropped. I was like, well, that last, not the most recent one, but the one she did before that on the 96ers.
Yeah, yep.
And she was walking on there.
Yeah.
She was walking on there. It sounded like a Detroit beat.
Yep.
Yeah,
shout out.
Ooh, I'm like, ooh, First Lady be walking. And I like Niecy Poo. I like Niecy Poo. Her she has so much pain in her music.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's I like BB Guns, of course. And
yeah.
There's some other cats like I just can't think of their names right now.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of talent out there. I can't think of them all either, but anytime people ask me, Rosie is definitely one of the first ones that come to mind because Rosie, and he's a good dude too, man. I've had him on here twice on the podcast, and just such a good soul, good spirit. You could tell he was raised right. You know what I mean? He has a strong bond with his father, and
I like to hear some.
You know what I mean? So it's always different. You could tell. So yeah, shout out to those guys. But since we're in that vein, bro, let me ask you. You was talking about top 10 Pittsburgh hip hop artists. I got Fran in trouble for this question on our 100th episode. We did a Daily Bread. People was all in the comments, whatever, but it went up. He gave me his. I asked him for his top 5 Pittsburgh songs. Is what I asked him about. But I'm gonna ask you about your top 10. If you want to give me your top 5
probably
Pittsburgh
go
songs.
Maybe top 5, maybe Pittsburgh projects, maybe.
Okay, all right.
I think maybe because songs will be.
There's songs, those like
I know there's
Perp, of course, is one of those iconic joints. You know what I mean?
See, like, I'm the Man.
Yeah,
would probably be one of the ones.
Yeah, always.
I was there for like I'm Jigging.
Yeah. We saw. Of course,
Jigging.
Shout out Grimes. We had Grimes on here.
Yeah. It's a scorching hot song. Yeah, my weed, the color purple will be Goldberg.
Yeah.
Fuck you got. I spear niggas like Goldberg. I had a whole berg running.
People always bring up scorching hot too.
It's war now. It's war now off that scorching hot.
Yeah, people always do the scorching hot.
It's war now.
Yeah.
Bergtown. There was a Bergtown CD. I can't remember the name. I used to have it in my headphones. Going to work. Shout out to Bergtown, Prototype, and GIF. There's I can't. Yeah. Sharon Dawn, hands down.
Okay.
Mental Combustion.
Yeah.
Mental Combustion was something dope too. Sharon Dawn's one of my goats. But he's always just been fly with the rhymes.
Yeah.
And he always stuck to his guns about how he feel with the culture and blackness and Trap Naughty 2.
Okay.
The one you can't download nowhere.
Yeah.
He gave it to me. It was me and my homegirl Juanica. We was at the gas
station. That's a good one.
We was at the gas station. He rolled up to me and gave it to us. A Trap Naughty 2.
Yeah. Shout out Hardo.
Yeah. I like Hardo, especially
me too.
Rap hard.
I love the growth of Hardo. Yeah. I remember the Cutthroat when he first came out with Cutthroat. And of course it got popular, but
yeah, that's my girl's cousin.
Is it?
Yeah.
And I watched him grow as an artist, and then I remember around Trappin' Naughty, the first one. That's when I was like, oh, bro, raps now.
I was like, man, see,
I said
really find that Trap Naughty too.
Yeah.
Like, because like I think he only put it up on the Trap Illustrated website.
Yeah.
It's not for download.
Yeah.
And I remember my man came home from jail and I let him listen to that Trap Naughty too. He started crying.
It was that serious.
Because there's stuff he's saying in there that I don't know that you're probably picking up.
Right.
Because people that have been locked up, he's saying a lot of stuff. I'm like, damn, what do that mean?
Yeah.
Coming home on Dwella, like, what's that? Like, he said like a lot of fly shit. That my man's was right next to me crying tears.
Yeah, because it's speaking to him.
Yes.
Because it's speaking to him.
Yes. Yeah. And then, like, oh man, I Trap Naughty too.
That's a funny thing too, right? Because people do these lists and do these things and make these comparisons, and I think it's blasphemous not to have Hardo in any of those conversations. I think Hardo's like, if we're being honest, the king of the underground when it comes to Pittsburgh hip hop. Because if you go in other cities, like if it's not Mac or Wiz, it's Hardo that they know of. And
one people don't think people don't like they love Pittsburgh music everywhere except Pittsburgh.
Yep. Yeah.
Like they love Pittsburgh music. You go somewhere, you take Yak on the road, they're gonna love you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what people fail to realize. They get caught up in the mentality of I need to be popular here instead of worrying about.
They love Pittsburgh music everywhere except Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man. No, so give me your top 10 Pittsburgh MCs, bro. It don't have to be in no order unless you want to put it in order.
I'll say, honestly, Mac, Wiz. I'll put Benji in there. I will put myself in there. I'll put Ricky P in there. I'll put K Pound in there.
That's 6.
I'll put Dice in there. Say Dice already?
No, you didn't. That's 7.
Dice. Sharon Don.
Okay. 2 more.
Lucky Face Dollars and Nice.
Okay. That's top. That's a tough list. That's a tough list for sure.
List. And there's people that's gonna have, I don't give a shit. You could come see me.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I still rap.
Yeah.
I record all the time. Like,
let's talk about it.
That'll be
that's the thing though. People get caught up in these lists and stuff, but it's one person's opinion. You know what I mean? And people are entitled to their opinions.
Music's like porn.
Yeah.
It's personal.
Yeah.
You can't yuck somebody's yum. You can't tell what somebody like. Now, of course, there are objective truths, but you can't tell somebody how to feel about something.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why nobody should ever get upset about somebody's list.
Right.
Because this is my personal list.
Right. And I always try to make the distinction, and I tell people that, like, when they be like who do you think are the best artists, or who you like? So are you? And because I'm an objective dude, right? I'm like, who do I think is the best, or who are my favorite?
Exactly.
Because those are different things. Those are different things. And I come up, me and my brother's he's a rapper and he's also a super hip hop head. And we've come up with a list, an unbiased list of how to rank things of MCs. And we've come up with these attributes. So like, you know how Madden they got like,
that's what are the metrics?
We've done this. We've done this with hip hop, and we figured it out for ourselves. This is how we judge it, right? So it's like, and I might miss a couple, so forgive me. So it's like storytelling is one of the attributes that you have, right? And it's not saying that you have to be a storyteller, but a 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah, can you?
How much can you tell? Twisting, the rapping fast is another one. You know, not that you have to, but where you fall on that scale. Punchlines, you know what I mean? Delivery, one of those things. A stage presence, hit making ability.
Yeah.
You know, and we weighed off of these things to make an objective
mine would
list.
Be like catalog. Beat selection.
Yes. Yeah.
How many styles do they got?
Well, that all falls under that, all right. So after you get so many, versatility.
Versatility.
Yeah.
Cultural influence on their region.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that'll be some of like my main ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would go for mine.
Yeah. So that way you could say I'm biased because, you know, I could say like, because I'm not a big Jay-Z fan. But I respect his art. I know Jay-Z's great. You know what I mean? Even though I'm a big Nas fan, I still, you know what I mean? So it's hard for me to be a fan of Jay-Z, but I respect where he falls under these things. Because there's certain metrics that are undeniable. He can hit all of those things that we named. He has it. Yep. You know what I mean? If we took our 2 lists together, he would still hit them all. Yeah. He's hitting those things. So you got to be able to do those things objectively. And I think people get caught up in that when they hear a list or a lot of people just like what they like. Yeah. And that's cool too. Yeah, it is cool. But you can't really, like you said, you can't knock nobody else's. Yeah. Or you can't knock nobody else's. Because you like just a certain sect of hip hop. And that's cool. You don't really listen to
Yeah, you can. I don't hate on nobody that don't like Drake if they don't listen to Drake.
Right.
It's fine. Even though they hate on people that listen to Drake,
it's
like you're doing something. You're committing some atrocity to mankind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people gotta like listen to Drake and like in the privacy of their car. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. After everything Drake did for y'all still hating on Drizzy, man. It's crazy. Man.
Yeah, Drake put on a lot of artists, man.
Yeah, listen.
He put on a lot of artists.
But people like. I always say, me and Ricky always say, losers don't like winners.
Real shit, bro. So let me get you. I got a segment for you that I do, bro. I'm gonna ask you a list of questions, and you give me your answer for them. Album you consider flawless?
Life After Death. No, yeah, Life After Death.
Damn, bro. That's why I knew I liked you, bro. I always say Life After Death to me is the most perfect hip hop album ever made. Life
After Death, next will be Wu-Tang Forever.
I'm definitely with you on the Life After Death.
Yeah,
I don't know what you have on that. Vinyl, streaming, or CDs?
CDs. I like streaming, but I just miss the CD. Just
the experience.
Yes.
Oh, ripping up the package.
Yep. Even though I was a terrible person to trade CDs with, because I'm gonna scratch your shit. I'm sorry,
bro.
Yeah, I wasn't good.
I've been mad at you.
You'd have hated me.
Yeah, bro.
You'd have hated me.
Punchlines or storytelling?
Punchlines.
Most underrated producer right now?
Right now? Ricky P.
That's a good one. Sheets or Get Go?
Sheets. Sheets got better hoagies.
No.
Sheets got better hoagies. Definitely better steak hoagies.
Pen and pad or phone notes?
Phone. I've been on the phone for decades since the sidekick.
You was writing them on there?
Yeah, I was right around
the sidekick. First take or perfectionist?
First take. My first take usually is perfection because I done said it 50 times before I got there.
Right, yeah. I'm the same way. We don't rehearse it a million times when
you're afraid to get there because that comes from not having a lot of they don't got a lot of money for studio time.
Yes, yep, I'm one
take Jake.
Yeah, I'm not playing in here. Yeah, make it real easy.
I'm all real easy. I'm all real business. Easy.
Streaming era, is it a blessing or a curse?
Say it again.
The streaming era, is it a blessing or a curse?
Curse.
And last question: legacy or money? Which one's more important?
Both.
You gotta have both.
Yeah. Your story needs to be cemented, but you need to put something in place so your people eat.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, man. What you got coming up? What can people expect?
Oh, it's crazy. We ended right at 9:18. Yeah. People that know me know that number means something.
For real?
Yeah. I'm recording volume 2 of Swing Heaven. Tony Pittsburgh and
shout out Tony Pittsburgh. Yeah. Mac, what up, Mac?
Recording volume 3 of Swing Heavens, the Demi Earth versus the Monad. Then I pretty much closed that out. And then I got
and you got a lot of messages in the music, right? It's a lot of you gotta listen to it to really saying stuff.
Yeah, you gotta really
especially in some of the newer stuff.
Yeah, you really gotta read what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I got the gold standard that's been done. And then me facing nice and recording the final JSP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fire.
The nothing.
That's fire.
So we just started writing that. There's maybe we'll decide on the amount of songs, either 7 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah, like you seen the Never Ending Story, right?
Yeah.
Yep. It's called a nothing.
Okay.
Like that feeling of having to stop making music.
Yeah.
And that would be the nothing, man. Like when you let the nothing get you.
Yeah.
When you just stop creating.
I love it, man. No, I appreciate having you on, bro. Like I said, I think this could have went on for hours.
Yeah, honestly. I could have sat here with you.
Yeah, we could have went on for hours.
Yeah, hopefully I could come back. I mean,
no, you're more than welcome back anytime, for real. I mean that. And like I said, we could have touched on so many things. I feel like it's so much more I wanted to talk to you about it, and we could have got into because of the knowledge that you have of hip hop and just your appreciation of hip hop and being a student of the game. And much like you, I mean, I approach it as a student And I listen to all sorts of things. You know, I like stuff. I can understand. I can see the beauty and the art of it. You know what I mean? I don't. It like I can even understand like this is whack, but I like it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like this, I always say, some music is kinetic, some music is cerebral.
Yep.
It's rare that you get both. Like some music you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Some music you're supposed to think.
Right.
And it's not always. It's the yin and the yang. You got to have both. You got to have Jasiri XM. You got to have Hardo.
Yes. Yep.
You got to have them both. You got to have girls shaking their ass, and you got to have people uplifting the people.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to have both.
Yeah.
So that's how I always look at hip hop. You got to have the yin and the yang.
I agree, bro. No, I appreciate you so much for coming on. Is there anything that you want to lead the people with before we get up out of here?
No, man. Support Pittsburgh hip hop. All artists keep creating, and even the people that are creating for the sake of creating, because 98% of us are creating for the sake of creating.
Yes.
You know, and don't let anybody's public opinion or anything that stop you from, you know what I mean, doing your creating and your painting, as I call it.
100%, bro.
That's it.
No, I agree. No, I appreciate you joining me, man. We had Cory Eaux on the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast. And we're here every Saturday at 8 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune in with us. Make sure y'all check out the Stash Bar with Jesse and the boys, man. They're smoking on some of that best. They're doing that Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. You know, Jesse getting real high.
Yeah, I might have to come see him on one of them podcasts just to say rap with him, man.
You know, Jesse know what he's talking about too, man.
Yeah,
you know them strains. So make sure y'all tap in with us. But until next time, we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.